Hi everyone, welcome to the very first video of the Microsoft ERP beginner tutorial series. My name is Sudeep Shetty and I've been working with the ERP systems especially on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations and Business Central for several years now. I'm currently working as a principal solution architect at one of the leading product based companies, and I have the chance to work on multiple global implementation and solutioning designs. This channel is all about helping you learn Microsoft ERP in a structured, hands on way. Whether you are a student, a professional, or just someone curious about the Microsoft ERP world, this series is for you. We will be focusing on D365 finance and operation, going module by module, covering real business scenarios in detail. Everything is broken down so it's easy to follow and practical to apply. In today's video, my very first one, we will start with some foundational concepts like what is Microsoft ERP, what is Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation, how you can get an access to the environment to explore it yourself, including a free sandbox option, and finally, a quick walkthrough of the interface, the dashboard, user interface, navigation bar, and more. Now, here is something very important, guys. This video is a starting point of a connected series. We will soon be creating a legal entity, setting up a key configuration, and performing tasks that will be used throughout upcoming modules. So each video builds on the last, just like in a real world ERP implementation. That's why I encourage you to follow the series in order so you stay connected and get most values from each step. The examples, the setups we do today will directly support what we will be learning in future videos. So with that notes, let's dive in and get started. First understand what is Dynamics 365, right? So Dynamics 365 is a suite of platform that lets the customer select the application based on their need. So what does that mean? So Dynamics 365 comes under the Microsoft family, right? So Microsoft provides a suite which comprises of two platforms. One is the application platform, another is the Power Platform. First understand the application platform. What does that mean? So application platforms are, as name suggests itself, it's a group of application in a one platform where the Microsoft allows the customer choose the applications based on their need. So when I say applications as like finance and operation, which we are currently talking about, which we're going to talk about, yeah, and that could be a business central is another ERP application. That could be a CRM. That could be a field service, right? Number of application grouped in a one specific platform, and user, of course, customer can choose a different applications and make fully use of it, as this all comes under the same Microsoft family. More or less the integration is always seamless. So that is the main advantages of the Microsoft choosing the application from the Microsoft platforms, right? The other platform is called, we call it as a Power Platform. The Power Platform is about the Power BI, Power Apps, all the virtual agents, right? So why we need this, right? Why we need this two as a separate thing? Assume that you're gonna, you know, customers choose the application from the application bundle like F&O or field service or the CRM, right? They perform their daily day-to-day operation, day-to-day activities, and captures the all the necessary details within that application. Now, to analyze the data, of course, all these application come from with their own reports, but that will be an extra data analysis which might be helpful in the today's world, right? So that edge will gives by the Power Platform. So using the Power BI, customer can get the analysis what they required from their applications what they currently use. So with these two bundles, application and the Power Platform makes Dynamics 365. So let's now jump to the application and explore it. So the very first thing you need is in access to the environment. I strongly recommend you to try to get an access to the full environment so you can explore and practice hands-on. If you are concerned about the budget or don't have any access to the organizations, don't worry. There is a workaround. I will be sharing a link in the description below and also in my info in the I button at the top. The link walks you through the how to access the free sandbox environment provided by Microsoft. Now keep in mind, this environment does have some limitation. It might run a bit slow, your data gets wiped out once you log out, and it meant only for learning use only. That said, it's still a great way to start it and explore the system, right? The same link also talks about the paid access, right? If you could see, if you click on over here, it will also talks about the paid training environment. But this is not from the Microsoft, but from the third-party vendors. But you can check those two and decide what works best for you. Now, once you have managed to get an access to the environment, right? So you'll once you log in, you will see the first thing you'll see is in the dashboard. The dashboard is of course tailored to your role. So the tiles and the features shown in here are based on what you do in the organization. So we're going to cover this, how this specific workspace can be changed to the specific user in our future episodes. But this is what user will see when he lands on the page. Now a couple of some of the details, right? So like if I say that at the top right corner, the first information is about the user login information. So once you log in, you'll always get the detail of at what specific user ID you logged in. Then the right next to that is the help and support. This is super helpful for new user. For example, if user not sure how to create a purchase order, then you could simply click on help and ask Microsoft provides how to create a purchase order, create a purchase order. And Microsoft Dynamics as your operation will show you relevant guides and the topic, about the purchase order creation. Yeah. So for example, create a purchase order, and if you search it, let's give a couple of seconds. Yeah. So create a purchase order. You could click it, and it will take you through the learning curve, how to create a purchase order thing. So that's what help screen does. You could understand, uh, you could get a guide and help from many specific topics by searching it. So next to it is a setting icon. By the setting icon is that you are allowed to use or change the certain user setup, like adjusting the date, if you would like to adjusting, if you want to change the colors and the theme, right? You could change it, a preference. So what again we talked about, right? So what's the default dashboard you would like to see? You could change your default dashboard. You could change the language, your time zone, and other stuff. That's the great use of that. And other thing, right? Then comes to the next is the notification center. The notification center is this keeps you updated on important tasks, alerts, uh, or any changes that need your attention, right? So that's what this notification tab does. So next to the notification center, you will find the search bar, one of the most powerful navigation tool within the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. The search functionality allows the user to quickly locate specific workspace pages or forms by simply typing it relevant keyword. For example, if I want to type it for sales, it will show up all the things, all the documents related to sales. It could be a transaction related, it could be a setup related pages, it could be a configuration related pages, it could be a document related pages. But this navigation will design not only help you to jump directly to the specific page, but also to show you the navigation path to get that, helpful for understanding where that page resides within the structure, right? So and then comes to the besides to that, we have a legal entity selection. This is something we're going to cover in our next video. But in short, this is the legal entity selection where when you have a multiple legal entities associated with the same company, you could hover around. If that user have an access to the different companies, you could come here and select the different companies by selection. Now to come to the right side, we have a home tab. it's by name suggests that if you click on that home tab, it will take you to the landing pages. Yeah. uh, and also it comes up with the calendar. And if you have a certain to-do list which is kind of assigned, for example, some workflows are there or something assigned by some other user, some task, that will be a to-do list will can be shown up here. That's the one. And also you have a favorites tab here. The favorite tab is that if you are performing any specific activities on certain pages, you could favorite that specific page, and it will be list down here so that you will get an easy access, you know easy access to it rather than going to the modules or searching the page. The recent is pretty much self-explanatory, right? You wherever you went, recent activities done within this application, this gonna be list up over here. The workspace is again is comes up based on the roles which is kind of assigned to that user, that specific all the related activities or the pages will be listed down in the workspace page. The modules, of course, it will give you the all the list of modules what is been available in the finance and operations. Okay, so with this note, that's it for the first video in the Microsoft ERP beginner tutorial series. Today we covered some of the foundational concept to help you to get started with the Dynamics 365 finance and operation, from understanding what the system is, how to access it, and exploring the basic interface and the navigation tool. In the next video, we will take the next big step. We'll be creating legal entity and setting up the number sequence, which are essential for the transactions and system setup. These configurations will be used throughout the rest of the series, so make sure to follow up and keep everything connected. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you won't miss the upcoming sessions. And also, I would love to hear your comments. Drop a comment below to let me know what you think or share any question or suggestions you have. I always open to feedback to make this series even better. Sorry. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.